What's up, everybody? I'm Dear Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back with some more Elden Ring. Shout out to Erdtree, and today I'm giving you my updated build of my dual katana, great katana build that I'm using throughout the whole game. I made an initial video with the dragon hunter katana, and I switched over. I'm using the Rakshasa katana because one, I just love the aesthetic. I love how cool it looks. It's a katana that has a scaling with B in dexterity and D in strength when you level up all the way to level 10. It has poise on it, and it has a really cool skill, which is the weed cutter, which is super strong, traps enemies in it, which allows you to proc bleed on them, but also too, it gives you a lot of poise so you can take some damage while you're doing some damage as well. This one's a chaos build, meaning that you're gonna take a little bit more damage, but in exchange for power. But you know what, we're a dex build, so majority of the time just dodge and avoid getting hit, and you'll be able to capitalize on this build. So my family, without further ado, let's dive in. Starting off, this thing is really cool. I like using dual katanas because I love the double attack combo. I love the thrusting running attack, and I also love the jumping attack, which is extremely strong, which I'll show you on these guys real quick. A lot of enemies with a one shot because they're so strong. Boom, 3,126 damage. That was a jumping attack, and I'll show you my accessories, my armor, and all the things I'm using as well, because this time around things are a little different. They FromSoft was sneaky, and they did some cool things with armor, meaning that there's lots of armor pieces. So that one was 3,013. The jumping attack does a little bit more damage. They did some sneaky things with armor. That armor not only just gives you defense, but some of the new equipment as well give you additional attributes that make you even stronger, which I'm going to go into right now. Starting off, we'll get straight into the build. So, weapon, Rakshasa great katana. I have mine level 10. It, like I said earlier, is a B in dex. As in strength, you need 12 strength and 27 dexterity to hold it. It has bleed buildup, but it's not a bleed weapon because it doesn't have more bleed up than the other katanas. If you notice, 55, 55, 55, same thing. They're all the same. I feel personally they should have doubled it for the bleed great katanas because they hit a lot slower, meaning you don't proc bleed as much as you would with a standard katana. But it's all good. We're here for the new game, the DLC, the new weapons, new content, so it is what it is. So I like using this one because it's super strong, super cool. I told you earlier, it has a weed cutter, and also to get some poise on when you're using your skill. I kept the quality great katana because I scaled it with quality, which increased my strength and dexterity to a B rating, so I get more points from there. And I could have did the dragon, but the dragon is only a C in both areas, so I decided to go this route instead. It looks like it has a little bit more damage negation, but that's when you're guarding. I never guard with these weapons, so it doesn't really matter to us too much. So now those are the weapons I'm using. They're both levels maxed out, level 25, level 10. So going down to the armor, this is where things get a little crazy because this armor piece right here, I'll show you it. It says slightly increases maximum HP, stamina, and maximum equip load. By having this helmet on, it does this, and it's crazy because typically you only get this kind of status from a couple of armor pieces in the base game, but in this time around they added a lot of them. So to get this, you know the enemies. These dudes are the ones that are in the castle in Stone's Keep. Yeah, Stone's Keep. And they're strong, but if you fight them enough, they'll drop the helmet, and the helmet is dope because it gives you this attributes. So I put this on my gear because I wanted extra HP, stamina, because I am dodging. I'm a dex build, I need the stamina. HP because I'm a chaos build, I take more damage, so the extra health is important to me. And maximum equip load, that way I can have all of my stuff equipped and not have to worry about having to be fat rolling. So now moving along, we're using Rakshas's armor for the rest of the pieces because one, it gives you a lot of poise. And if you don't know what poise is, it means when you're getting hit by an enemy, how much do you flinch, or do you flinch at all? That way you can just keep on attacking through. So I like this armor piece for that, for the poise. The defense it gives you is pretty good. It's a medium high-ish slash armor piece. If you look at where it kind of stands in the overall ranking of all the armors, it's a medium. It's a medium heavy, I would say. So you get some pretty good defense on it as well. But more importantly, it has a special attribute that comes with it and increases your damage dealt to foes, but greatly increases damage taken to by the wielder. Currently, it only decreases your defense resistance by 1%, which isn't much. So I have 3 pieces on, so I got negative 3%. I think that's the status that we came up with after doing some testing in our streams. Follow us on Twitch if you want to watch the live streams live as well. And I decided to go with all 3 pieces of armor, 1 for the dexterity, for the defense, and also 2 for the additional power I get by using this armor piece. So just to test it out, I'll go back to these guys, I respawn them, and I'll take off my armor pieces because we're doing 3,120 with our jumping attack. Let's take it off and see what the damage is without it. So now we're naked. Jump. 2,945. What is that? 200 points extra HP, 200 more damage. Again, 2,946 compared to 3,126. For me, it's worth it because the additional damage is good because the faster you kill your enemy, the faster they go down. And the most important thing is we have to make sure we have our fast rolling, which we do have, so that we can get out of the way and not have to worry about taking any kind of big damage. So that's the weapon I'm using. I'll actually show a little sample as well of some damage we did against a boss right now, so you guys can see that. We did some pretty juicy damage. We were able to almost one-shot this boss. But now going on to the rest of my pieces, and this is where you can get a little creative. You can do what you like. For me personally, right now I have a prosthetic wearer, increase my dexterity, increase my jump attacks because we do a lot of jump attacks. Entry's favor, this one I can get entry favors too. I just got to go back and get it because I'm a new game plus. And this one, I like this one as well. Greatly increasing my attributes, but also increasing my damage taking. So this is a full-on chaos build. We're taking some damage, but the most important thing is roll, dodge, time your bosses. The more you fight your boss, the more you get familiar with the moveset. And then it makes it a lot easier for you to identify the moves, which will allow you to dodge out of them, and you can capitalize on those openings. This is a tactical dex build because you're dodging, you're waiting for that perfect moment. You get in there and you strike, and you do that big damage. To finish things up, let me just show you what I have as far as my status and my attributes. Vigor 72. Put your points into vigor. You need vigor to survive in the DLC. Damage and all that stuff is great, but if you're getting clapped by every single monster you go against, it's worthless. Even if you're dodging and missing on the strikes, you're gonna get hit a couple of times. So my recommendation is get your base strength where you feel comfortable, then pump everything else into vigor. So I got vigor 72, and this is all with my accessories that give me additional points as well. Endurance is 40, that way I can equip my gear and feel comfortable. Strength is 30. Any extra point, I'm level 173 at the moment. I'm on new game plus 1. Any additional points I'm gonna pump into strength, that way I can just beef up my weapon, my strength a little bit more. It's not gonna make a great difference to my Rakshasa great katana because that one has a D in strength, but for my offhand weapon, like standard great katana you find early in the game, that one has a B in strength, so I'll actually benefit by putting strength in there because I do the double jump attack and double thrust attack when I'm running to get that additional strength. Dexterity, I'm a dex build, so naturally I'm going to max on my dexterity because that's where I spend majority of my points, and nothing else matters. Intelligence, fate, arcane does not matter. Focus your points on where you're going to be, where your build is, and you'll be good. So this is my build. This is my character. I love him. It looks good, feels good, it's strong, it's risky, but you know what? That's what keeps the heart pumping. It's fun. It's a very, very fun play style to do. At this point, I'll just go ahead and just fight a couple more monsters. You guys can kind of see what we're doing, but it's good. Majority of enemies we can one-shot them, no problem. So also to the skill set, we just keep going. That's the cool thing about it. As long as you have stamina, you can just keep going. Boom, beautiful. So don't get me wrong, you will still proc bleed. You definitely will proc bleed, but it just takes a little bit more effort because of the fact that you're not hitting as many times. So it probably takes like 5-6 hits before you get some bleed action going. But also too, a cool thing about this build is because you're doing jumping attacks and thrusting attacks, you get a lot of stuns as well for those critical hits. But this is the build. Comment below and let me know what are some things you guys would change to make the build even better. Maybe it's how you alternate your points a little differently, but also what's other accessories that you might put on the build to make it even more juicier. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Till next time, dear gamers, signing out.